Let's discuss color term in relation to the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. At the lexical level, much work has been done on words for color. This is very interesting phenomena. This is in part due to the fact that languages differ tremendously in their differentiation of the color domain. Every color is characterized differently in different language. Some languages such as English, they have many color terms and others have perhaps few or maybe two in some cases. Now, according to Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, the physiology of our eyes is essentially the same. All normal humans, they share similar sense of perception or in terms of color and their characterization. But again, regardless of the fact that these colors or the terms are used differently in different languages. Color spectrum is basically a physical continuum, but people see it as separate because of linguistic, neurolinguistic, and environmental makeup. In this particular area, we have Berlin and Case hypothesis, and actually they proposed color hierarchy. Now, according to them, in two color term languages, the terms in two color item languages, the terms correspond to black and white. Then we have in three color term languages, they correspond to black, white, and red. We also have languages with additional items, and they are known as yellow, green, blue, then brown, then purple, pink, orange, and gray. So this hierarchy basically is quite contrary to Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, who suggests basically the universal physiological basis of color naming or color terminologies. So now we will look at the color term with regard to all these researches that have been done. The first important aspect, if we are to discuss color term, is the concept of codability. Now, codability is a concept that has figured in much of the research on color cognition. Brown, in his study, defined codability as the length of verbal expression. Some languages have single words to refer to a particular object or event, whereas others do not. If one's language does not have a specific word for the occasion, the speaker can still make the reference, but will need to do so by some combination of words. Relative to the case in which a single word serves the purpose, the phrase is, in Brown's term, less codable. Brown suggested a relationship between the frequency of usage of verbal expression, its length, which is codability, and the ease which it may be used. The important area, which is known as Zipf's law, has been introduced, and according to this, the relationship between frequency and length is captured in this particular law, which is known as Zipf's law. Now, Zipf in 1935 examined Chinese, Latin, and English and found that the length of word is negatively correlated with its frequency of usage. That is, the more frequently a word is used in a language, the shorter the word. Basically, the short word which is shortened, and it can be measured either in phonemes or syllables. English contains many examples of Zipf's law. Whenever mass-produced technological innovations are introduced in society, their initial cumbersome names become shortened For easy reference, for example, video camera, video cassette recorder, they become camcorder. Then we have the relationship between quotability and ease of expression that has been studied in several experiments. In an early study, Brown and Lerneberg examined the responses of college students to 24 different colors. The colors were identified beforehand by a set of judges. The judges who were asked to look at a series of color chips and determine which was the best instance of the color in question. The judges produced a list of 8 central colors with 16 other colors included for comparison. The 24 colors were shown to the students one at a time, and they were asked to name the colors with their reaction time to naming the color being measured. Brown and Lerneberg found that colors that evoked long names, that is, those which are less quotable, were named with hesitation, with disagreement from one person to another, and with inconsistency from one time to another. So the studies of color terms have not provided strong support for the Wolf hypothesis. Other studies of the lexicon are more consistent with the hypothesis.